Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Well, so we begin with the today's session. But first, let me inform you that in case of any technical issue, you can contact admin. In case if internet disconnects, we will reconnect to you and send you link as well for that to continue for the today's session. And I request everyone to switch off their video and voice so that there will be no disturbance in the sessions. And in case if anyone will have any query regarding the subject, uh, then they can unmute the call and ask the question and again mute it so that I can better explain it without any further, a noise or some disturbance along the course. So about me, I'm Ashwani Singhania and I work as equity analyst and financial advisor in a financial firm and providing this course, which consists of 5 sessions through Edumanta. And Edumanta is an online platform providing live courses to the professionals so that they can excel in their respective domains. We have many courses listed on our website, so you can check them. And if you want to get registered for any one of them, of course, you can do that. So now let's talk about the course. And this course consists of 5 sessions. So we'll see that what are the things which we will go through along the this course. So this is the syllabus for the course, which consists of 5 sessions. Today we are going to learn about data cleaning. We'll understand what is the importance of data cleaning, and after that we will see different function related to that will help us to clean our data for further analysis. And after that we also have a bonus function which may not be directly related to the data cleaning, but it's very useful. So we'll learn that in every session. After every session we will do something bonus kind of thing which is a part of advanced Excel course. But yeah, we are simultaneously taking one function in each session so that you can get something extra from this particular course. In the second session we are going to learn about data visualization. So once we are done with the cleaning of data, then we need to understand the data, the characteristic of data, the behavior of data. Okay, for example, what is the largest and the smallest value in the data? What is the mean or median of the data? So we have to look into all those things. So just by seeing the Excel and the heap of lot of data in numbers and text, we cannot figure out anything. So we need to put those data into table, charts, graphs, so that we can actually get the visualization at how our data look like. For example, if I'm going to talk about the sales data, then just seeing the sales data in Excel, we cannot figure out anything. But when we will plot it in, say, a histogram, then we can see which month actually, highest sale is there. And on basis of that, we can make decision on production. Okay, for January, there was highest sale. So we have to, keep more inventory for that particular month. So these kind of derivation can be happen only when data is clean, and then we know how to visualize that data. And the third session is about important mathematical function. That mathematical function can be very basic one, some summation of numbers, and then subtraction, multiplication, division, as well as important functions like how to calculate EMI on different uh, loans, or maybe how to calculate the holding period return of particular share or some other financial asset. So this is what we are going to discuss in mathematical function. And then we will move on in the fourth session, the statistical function. So data science is all about the statistics, right? So apart from visualization, that what exactly the data look like, we also try to derive few things just by seeing or calculating a few things, or few, like I told you, that mean, median, mode, something which we calculate. And these are statistical tools by which we try to analyze data and make prediction based on those calculation. So we will learn those important statistical function in the fourth session. And finally, in fifth session, we will work on real data, though I try to put real data almost in all session. But yeah, in the last session, I will have a real data on which we will make analysis, and as well as we will make the proper dashboard, all the graphs and histogram tables that are required for the, so that will be useful for us. Okay, for example, in data visualization, we are going to learn pivot table. So those pivot table can be used in fifth session, so that we can make a proper dashboard. So this is what we are going to learn through this course. I hope it is clear to everyone. So we are going to our first session, that is data cleaning. So let me pull up the Excel file. Yeah. So here we can see that here it is some data, right? And this data is basically all about. Just give me a second. Yeah. So it's all about heap of data which you can see. Something you're not able to understand what exactly it is. You can see there are 6 columns and some data in between their space, some disorganized sort of data. Some years are right aligned, some data are left aligned. So this is very, kind of not so much correct form of data, or not so much usable form of data. So the in this particular session, we will understand how to make this data useful, and that can be usable for our further analysis, or maybe even for data visualization. We need to have a perfect data. And why we need perfect data? I can just give you a very good recent example, which is coronavirus. So, for example, on the first day, whenever this case of coronavirus appeared, and after 10 days, there are many more numbers of the cases, right? So if we don't have the proper data about the first day appearance, and on the second number of cases on the 10th day. So suppose on number 1 day it was 1 case, and on number 10th day the cases increased to 10,000. Okay, so we need to have everyday data, and in a consistent manner, to understand whether the data, you know, uh, this particular coronavirus is getting infected to other people in exponential form or linear form. By now, we all know that it is increasing exponentially, right? Because on average, each infected person infects 2.8 people, and that other 2.8 people in second round infect another, I think 10 or 12. I don't exactly have the number, because we have to run then again different kind of simulation over there. uh, yeah. So in this way, we need to make simulation model, and for that model to even to create a pivot table, we need to have a perfect data which have no error, no blank spaces like this. There is a blank space. Okay, so we don't need even any blank things in our data, otherwise pivot table or any statistical function will not work and will give error message. So let's start with understanding what are the errors which we can spot in this particular data set. So the first error that I can go with is year column, right? So you can see that some year are right aligned and some year over here are left aligned. Let's see this. If we see here what kind of data it is text, right? That's why it is left aligned, because in Excel, under normal condition, by default, numbers are aligned towards the right and text are aligned towards left. So here this is text. So we can make it general. So it will become number and shift to towards the right. Okay. And you can see all others are general. Right. Let me just enlarge the sheet little bit so that you can see it more clearly. Yeah. So here this is again the same problem. These are all text. So we cannot do it one by one. Another problem is this one. In this case, what happened? People actually used apostrophe. So you can see a small apostrophe over here to convert the number into text. Okay, so while entering, most of the people, what they do, they put a apostrophe so that it appear as a text. But when you see it in the format, it's still general. Okay, so this cannot be, if even if you're going to put it in general again, for example, I just put, even it is not going to change into numbers, that is, it is not going to be right aligned. So we need a kind of function that at once will convert all these things into numbers. So how we can do that, we are going to learn that, okay, in some time. Then second thing, for example, let's look at this artist column. Okay, before that, let's do one more thing. We can see that most of the data are hidden behind columns. Okay, for example, this particular column data are hidden behind D column. So we need to create specific space in this particular sheet so that every data is visible. Okay, so we can do it in two ways. First, either we can wrap the data so that all the data will appear in the same box fully. So in this way, for example, I'm going to do it for this particular column. So how I will do the wrap function, under home we will get wrap text. We are going to do this. See, this is going to appear like this, though we are able to see each of them, but it is not looking good, right? So instead of using wrapping function, we can use some other function. What is that? We can simply going to select all of these, though we can do it one by one also. For example, if I'm just going to click somewhere between C and D, where this is going to turn into positive sign. Okay, you can see my cursor. So I'm going to double click it, it will expand. Okay, but this is only 6 columns, so we can do it one by one. That's not a big issue. But suppose there are 50 columns or 100 columns, then how will you do it in one go? So that is what I'm going to do. So just I'm going to select all of them and just click anywhere again on the same, and we will get all expanded. Okay, so this is this expanded something more than what we actually needed. So I'm just going to pull it a little bit. uh, yeah, now it's all up here at one place, right? So we have done it in one go. Now the other error which we can spot over here is in this particular column. Okay, we can see that the name of the artist are not consistent, right? Some are small, some are capital, in some cases all are capital, in some there are some extra spaces between the names. Okay, so this is inconsistency in the data, which we can, modify and make it right. So this is the second thing which we have spotted. The other thing, total sales. For example, in total sales, it's only number, but I think it should be in currencies, because total sales is amount, and amount should always be in currency. So we can change that even, right? So basically, we have seen that what are the inconsistency in this particular data. Now there's blank space as well, I told you here. So what is the effect of this? Suppose I want to select entire data in one go, I will click Control plus A. The only this particular part is getting selected, not entire data, because in between there's a space, right? Which is not a good thing. You cannot select the entire data. Suppose again I'm going to select Control plus A, the entire Excel sheet getting selected, but we want only data to get selected for the analysis, right? So first let's remove this particular blank spaces. So we can do it two ways. We can either go find under home, find and select, go to, or go to special, or we can use shortcut F5 and then go to special, and then here you can see blank. We'll select this. Okay, so all blank rows are getting selected. Now we need to delete these. So simply under home, delete sheet rows, and all those blank uh, rows getting deleted. I hope I made things clear up till here. So this is the first step towards data cleaning, to either get rid of the, all the spaces, all the blanks, or fill in those blanks with for example, if it is text, then you can put blank cell as not available text in that particular blank cell, if you don't want to delete it, because maybe other columns might be containing other values which are useful. Or maybe if it is number, then you can put 0. Okay, so in the same way you can select those particular cells, I mean through the same way blank you will select, and then you can fill simultaneously in all cell the same kind of uh, text or number. Okay, now let's concentrate on number, how to convert all these different kind of numbers. Some are in text form, some are in general, and even then they are not appearing to be numbers. So we have to convert all these into number. So of course you can do it in this way. You select it, home, and then number, sorry, general. So again, which were in text format, that will come back to its original, that is right aligned. But those I told you with apostrophe will not turn into numbers. So for that we can use different function. It's a very simple one. In any blank cell, for example, I'm just putting a value 1 over here. Okay, and then control plus C on this, select this whole column, then press Alt E and S. Okay, this will appear dialog box, and then here we have to select multiply. Okay, so we can see that every format, it's converted into number, right? So this is how we can convert sorry, yeah, so this is how we can convert any kind of data into number. I mean, I hope I made it clear, right? And now we can delete this one, we don't need it. Got it. And now suppose I personally don't want numbers to be right aligned. As normal data, I want it to be left aligned, so I can select the alignment over here. So yeah, so this is now left aligned, right? If you have any confusion or you want me to redo any step, let me know immediately. I will do that for you. Okay, now we are going to move to second step, and that is removing of duplicate data. Okay, so how we, yeah, one more thing, I have mentioned each function I am using in the Excel, along with where you can all find these function and how you will use these functions. So you will get these Excel as well as I mean the PPT, as well as the exercise, practice exercise, that is the data I'm using after the registration for the second session. Yeah, so let's move to this artist column now. So we can see that here actually there are different kind of uh, I mean there is inconsistency in this particular column. Some names are capital, some are small, some mixture of small and capital, some extra spaces are there. Okay, so let's do some operation on this. For example, at first I want to remove all the spaces. So here the extra spaces, here it is extra spaces. In many cases, even after uh, the names, there can be spaces which we cannot see, but there may be some spaces which may, you know, uh, give us some trouble while analyzing. So we have to remove it. So we can use simple function trim. Please put off the voice. Yeah, someone voice is on. Please put off the audio. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So we are going to use this trim and select the data. And now I'm just going to drag it down. So you can see that wherever there was extra space, for example, here it was extra space. In this, all extra spaces are eliminated. Even here we can see that there were some extra spaces which has been eliminated in this. So trim actually eliminate all the extra spaces in the data. Okay, moving ahead, let me delete this. We will come back to this again. But yeah, now we want all the capital to change into small, or maybe all small to change into capital letters, or maybe every name. For example, the Beatles. So the first letter of the, that is T, should be capital, and the first letter of B should be capital. So there is function to do all those things even. Suppose first I want to convert all these names into capital. So we will use upper function and then select the data. All this will become capital. Let me scroll it down. So we can see that every name has changed into capital, right? In the same way, if we want it to do into lowercase, we will use a lower function, and again we will put it like this. Every name will change into small letter, but in general what we do, we always put the first letter of the name as capital. I mean, every letter, every first letter of every word we need capital. So for that there's a function proper. With this proper function I can make this. Okay, so the first letter of each word will be capital and rest will be small. Now let's combine two functions. Sorry for this. Yeah, so here we need trim and proper both to work together. Let's see how we are going to use it. So I'm going to use trim, and under this I'm going to use proper dual function, and then selecting this. Yeah, so it's now perfect, right? This is exactly the standard format how names are being written. So now we need to eliminate this data. So let's eliminate it. Delete. Oh, so when we deleted it, what happened that here some error message is there, right? So it means that the reference cell is missing. So we actually deleted the reference cell. That's why this error message is coming. So we need to put it back again. We can eliminate this thing in two ways. Either we can hide this column and it will disappear, or we can do it another way. That is, we can just copy paste it. So this I copied, Control plus C, and paste a special on this part. So paste special under, we have to paste only value. We don't need to paste the format, we don't need to paste the function, but only value. Function what we use here, trim and proper, but that function need not to be copied. Only the value which is visible to us will get copied. So here now we have, you can see we have those here, and then we can delete this particular column. I hope I made it clear how I did it. Okay, now let's move ahead. Uh, the sales, right? Yeah. So as I told you that sales need to contain some currency. So let's, it's quite simple to bring it. Just go to home and you can select currency from here or accounting, anything. Both will give currency. My default is rupees, so it's showing rupees symbol. Suppose you don't want rupees symbol, then you can change it also to dollar or to euro, anything. Yeah, so this is about. Now one more thing, we need to delete duplicate data, right? So now I'm just going to press Control plus A. Now when I am Pressing Control plus A, you can see entire data has been selected because there is no space in between, right? And now I will just delete the duplicate data from the data ribbon. From here, this is remove duplicates. We'll press this, and we need to check all the columns and all the columns, because if there's duplication, suppose I'm just going to remove year, uncheck this, then what will happen if there is, if year is going to be different, for example 2 and 3, uh, row 2 and 3 I'm talking about, the year is 1967 and row 3 is 1966. These two are different, but suppose all other values are going to be similar, then also this whole row will get deleted. Sorry, then this row will not get deleted because there is something which is different. Okay, but if I'm going to select this year also, then even this need to be same to get deleted. Okay, so in short I'm saying that if you uncheck any of the column, okay, and in that particular column even they are not matching, even then it is going to be deleted. But if you check all the columns, then each and every column need to be exactly same, only then it will get deleted. If any one have a different value, if any one column is going to have different value, then it will not get deleted. I hope I made it clear. Now just press OK. So they have deleted 3 duplicate values, whereas 500 unique values are there, right? So we have deleted the duplicates also, so our data don't have any duplicates, our data don't have any blank spaces, and most of all we have made the data consistent as well, right? Now there are few more functions which we can work on, suppose if we want to substitute something, or let's do something else before that. Let me copy this to a different sheet. Yeah, so here we can see that I have copied a particular column here, that is subgenre, and in this case what we want to do is, if anybody is sending some messages to ask question, then I may not be able to see them. So it's better you can directly unmute your call and then ask me question if you have any confusion on that. Well, so see, there are two different kind of rocks in the first column. In the same way, here is also two kind of rock, and there are three kinds of rock: blues, classic, rock, and roll. And here is four kind of roll.
Hello.
Yeah.
Please repeat the removing of duplication data.
You want me to repeat duplication of data, right?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. I'm just going to do it. Okay, just let me do it once again for you. It's a very small thing. You have to go to data. Under data, you will find duplication, a tab. Under data tool, remove duplicates. Okay, you will click that. Whole data will get selected, and then if your data have this header, then you have to check this box, my data has header, and then you will select these headers, check these header. Suppose in year you want that even if year is different, for example in year, in row 2 and 3 the year is 1967 and 1966, though these two are different but all other are similar or same. Okay, so and also then also you want to delete the entire row, then you will simply uncheck year, so it will not check for year whether it is similar or not. Okay, if rest things are similar it will delete, but if I'm going to select year also, then it will match each and every column element to the other elements in maybe different row. And if there will be, you know, similarity or the same data point in two row in each column, then only it will get deleted. So we check all the data and then okay. So there is no duplicate because we have already deleted it. So in this time there is no duplicate, otherwise it would have deleted. I hope I made it clear now. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, now let's move to next thing, that is we were talking about the different kind of subgenre which are getting separated by commas, right? So what we want to do here, we want to separate these particular uh, you know uh, these particular subgenre into different columns. We want to put it into different column. Right now it is in the same column, right? So what we are going to do for that is we're going to select it, and then under data we can find text to column under data tools, right? Text to column. So yeah, so now we want to separate these things in different commas. Okay, I mean these all particular subgenre, we want it to get into or get divided into each different column. Okay, so we are just going to select delimited and next. Now they're asking that what are the common thing that is separating this particular you know genre, subgenre. For example, here if we see, for example, just look at any data. For example, this blue rock is one, rock and roll on second, and the third is classic roll. We want all three in three different column. And what are separating these three particular things? These are being separated by commas. Okay, that can be anything. That can be commas, that can be space, that can be a question mark, that can be a slash, anything, right? So we can use that as our delimiting factor. So here in this particular thing we have comma as delimiting, not a space. So here you can see that with as we select comma, it is getting separated in this way. Suppose if there would be some other like question mark, so I would have selected other and put question mark over here, right? So this is how we are going to delimit it. And now what we are going to do it, we are going to just select next and then finish. So we are going to get this in different, yeah. So see how we have break this into different columns. So here it was three, so we have break it into three or four different subgenre. So this is how we can do that using delimiting under data. If you want, I can do it once again for you, so that you, so we have to just do one thing. We have to get into data, text to column under data tool, delimited. Next we have to select comma because under this column is something which is separating each subgenre, and then next, finish, and we have it each having the different, each we are now having in different column. Let me expand it. Yeah, so I hope I made it clear how we can do that. Suppose if we want to again,
Yes, sir, it is clear.
yeah, suppose we want to add it again. Okay, so we can, there's a function called concat which we can use to add them all again. For example, if we want to add this and maybe we wanted to separate it by comma, so we need to put comma, sorry, comma, and again we will select, sorry, the second one, and then again we can put, I need some mistake, yeah, I need to put comma here, and again I have to select this one, again I want comma, and the third also I want to select, and again I want to put comma in between, If we don't want comma, then we don't need to put it under inverted commas. But I want it to appear exactly the same it was appearing before. So yeah, I think I'm done with, yeah. Okay, there's an extra. Okay, suppose if I'm just going to pull it, then we have all in one, right? There's some extra inverted comma. We can do it right also. Just by simply by putting a space in between. For example, we want this, then a space, then this, again, then a space, then this, again a space, then this. So now we can see that all have combined with a space, right? So this basically we do. For example, there's an initial and a surname. Uh, then in that case, sometimes we need to add them together, or maybe they are given together and we need to separate it. Then these kind of function can be used, right? So I hope I made it clear to all of you. Let me just check if I'm left with some other function to discuss. Then I will go to the bonus function. Yeah, then we are left with spelling check. So in Excel, how we can do that? We can simply press Control plus F7. Sorry, I just press F7, and we will be getting all the spelling checks. But before that, just select the data. Yeah, yeah. So basically, there are some spelling mistakes which you can make, changes, or you can simply um, put change all, or you can individually select each and change one by one. It's depend on you how you want to perform it. So I hope I made it clear that how you can correct the spellings mistakes in your Excel file. F7 is the key by which you can do that. And then there is one more thing, that is formatting. So whenever you download some data or you take some data from someone, that is already, in some particular format. For example, in this particular data, we have this particular heading as bold letters, right? So we can actually clear the formatting. I mean, we don't want any formatting because I want to put my own formatting in it, right? So for that, to clear the formatting, what you need to do, just go to home and it's clear, and then clear formats. So once you clear format, everything disappear, all bold, everything will disappear. So again, we need to change it into currency. So actually we should do it in the beginning itself. Mm, okay, so we have done this. So let's make it left aligned. Yeah, so it's left aligned now. Yeah, so this is the data. Okay, now just think how the data was looking initially and now how it is looking now. Now let's add some formatting so that so that it can look more interesting. So we will make it on the table. So insert table. Okay, so now this is the table. This is how it is going to look. We can always change the color of, you can choose any color. Okay, from here, in fact, you can customize your color as well. New table style you can create. I'm not going to discuss on that, but yeah, this is how we can create table. Okay, so there are many benefits of table. For example, uh, with table you will get the filter keys. For example, if I want only one particular artist to appear, so just say that I want only Albert King to appear and his album. So there's only one album created by Albert King. If I want some others also, then there's one for this artist. Let's deselect. Let's take some famous artist, which may give you some. Yeah, so there's two particular album released by this particular artist. So you will get these filters option with table. Okay, suppose you don't need these filters, then you can remove it again. From here you can uncheck this filter button, and then there will be no filter in your table, right? So what are the benefits of putting data in table? Suppose there are approximately how many data points? 501. So basically 500 data points are there, right? So what happens that when if suppose if data was not in table format, and I would have just say that I selected this particular range and may have done some particular function on this. Okay, now if I want to add one more row below that, that will not be the part of that particular function, that will be left out. Then we have to again deselect the uh, previous function and again reselect the addition and then again run the function, and that will be a very cumbersome thing, right? It will be very difficult to do that if data is large, and in fact the function is also quite complex one. That will be difficult for us. But what happens with table, if you are running the functions on table, that suppose I want to add one more row over here, I will just pull it and we will get a whole new row, and we will fill this data, and then we will and that particular row will also be included in that particular function. We don't need to edit anything. So I just made you clear that why table is more important in terms of inclusiveness of the data. So it will automatically include the data in our function. Whereas if we are going to operate on data without table, then we have to again rerun the function by including that data. So a table is always very helpful, at least in Excel. Okay, so I hope I made it clear. So in next session, we will learn about data visualization. In this, we will going to use table, pivot table as well. We will learn pivot chart and different kind of charts and graphs, histogram, all these things we will learn. Now I'm just going to discuss about the, yeah, I'm just going to discuss about last VLOOKUP function. Okay, and that is quite most of people find it little bit challenging, but though it's very simple to operate. Suppose just say that your boss put a paper on the table saying that I want the sales of particular albums. So just say that if I'm going to select this, 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 and this. Suppose I want the sales figure for only these five album. Okay, I want the sales figure for these five albums. So how we will come? So if you are not going to use VLOOKUP, then you have to separately find these particular album in the album row, and then you have to look the corresponding the total sales figure and manually, and then write it manually, and that is going to take a lot of time because you don't know where exactly. Though you can search it, you can find it through find function, or you can also put filter in this particular thing. For example, I'm just going to put filter over here. So just say I'm just putting the filter. Even with filter, I can choose any. But even in so many albums, you have to scroll down and find where the actual name which you are looking for. Okay, which is going to be very difficult thing. Just let me remove the filter. Yeah. So this is going to be very difficult thing to do. So VLOOKUP over here will help us to find it in one go. So let's see how we are going to use VLOOKUP to find the sales amount for the particular albums. VLOOKUP Okay, the first thing what I'm going to look up for is this value, London calling. Okay, so I'm just going to select it. Sometime what happened, you don't know what argument to put, so you can always click the function bar. Before that there's a function, so you can click
Now
on this.
XLOOKUP has come.
Sorry,
XLOOKUP.
no, I'm discussing VLOOKUP right now. uh, any problem over there? Okay, let's continue. So actually I'm using VLOOKUP to find the corresponding sales figure for these albums. Okay, so that will be that we can do with help of VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP is when we are looking for some vertical values. If we are going to do it for horizontal, which maybe we are going to do in the next session, then we will see how we can use, or where we can use, the HLOOKUP function as well. So VLOOKUP, sorry, yeah, so VLOOKUP, the value I'm going to look for is this, and the table is going to the entire data. But one thing to remember over here, the first column of that particular table should be the value you are looking for. So I'm going to look for album, so my table should be starting from album, not from here. Okay, so I'm just going to select the entire data from album to total sales. So this is going to be my data. I'm just fixing this table by pressing F4, and after that column index. So now our table have how many columns? This is album is at column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, and column 5. I want value from the fifth column, that is the sales column. So I will put 5 over here, and then finally I want the exact match. Okay, if you want that even there is some little bit uh, not exact match, even then you select the true option. Otherwise, if you want the exact match, you have to select the false and then enter. So this is the corresponding sales figure for London calling, and then we are going to drag it down. So these are the respective sales figure for all these other albums. So I hope I made it clear how to use VLOOKUP. If there's any confusion, you can ask the question.
2019 update XLOOKUP has come newly. Can you use that?
Okay, okay. I have to look into that. Actually, I haven't used that XLOOKUP right now, but I will look into that. But it's similar. I heard about that. It's similar. Okay, so I will look. No problem. I will discuss that in the next session. Because this is just a bonus. This wasn't there in the course, but yeah, I thought that let's discuss a bonus thing. So that, see, X lookup is basically when we use index and match function together. For that we can actually use X lookup as well. So we'll discuss in the next class, because we already done with the session. So any other confusion regarding today's session, you can ask me. Yeah.
Can you teach double lookup?
Yeah, we will do that, everything, maybe as a bonus, because this particular session is all about data cleaning. I'm just looking into VLOOKUP. See, if you want any other function to do as a bonus, because I'm doing only one function as a bonus function every class, so there will be 5 functions. So if you are looking for X or double if function, or double lookup function, combination of VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, even that, so you can just text me on WhatsApp to the admin, and I will include those function as well. Maybe if I need, I will include 2 functions simultaneously in each for bonus function to be discussed. That's not an issue for us. But yeah, for today we are just discussing this much. Okay, because we are already running out of time. Okay, so I hope that there's no other confusion regarding this particular session of data cleaning. You will get the PPT as well as the exercise file. So just register for the second session, and then you will get the link for the second session as well, and tomorrow we will discuss about further about maybe HLOOKUP as bonus, or maybe anything that we will see tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then we are signing out right now.